A gene is the basic physical and functional unit of heredity. Genes, which are made up of DNA, act as instructions to make molecules called proteins. In humans, genes vary in size from a few hundred DNA bases to more than 2 million bases. The Human Genome Project has estimated that humans have between 20,000 and 25,000 genes. Genetics is the study of heredity, that is, those characteristics inherited by children from their parents. Many of a person's abilities, susceptibility to disease, and even lifespan are influenced by heredity. Deoxyribonucleic acid molecules and their associated proteins become visible as densely stained bodies called chromosomes during cell division. Genetic disorders are caused by abnormalities in a person's genetic makeup, that is, in his or her DNA. They may involve a single gene or an entire chromosome. Some genetic disorders result from a mutation, a change in the gene that usually involves a change in the nucleotides composing the DNA. Mutations also occur caused by chemicals, radiation, or viruses. Once a mutation has occurred, the abnormal trait can be passed from one generation to the next. The abnormality can range from a discrete mutation in a single base in the DNA of a single gene to a gross chromosome abnormality, involving the addition or subtraction of an entire chromosome or set of chromosomes. The following is a list of genetic disorders and, if known, type of mutation and the chromosome involved. They are the most common disorders. Deletion syndrome. It is a syndrome caused by the deletion of a small segment of chromosome 22. While the symptoms can be variable, they often include congenital heart problems, specific facial features, frequent infections, developmental delay, learning problems, and cleft palate. Angelman syndrome. It is a genetic disorder that mainly affects the nervous system. Symptoms include a small head and a specific facial appearance, severe intellectual disability, developmental disability, speech problems, balance and movement problems, seizures, and sleep problems. Children are usually happy in nature and have a particular interest in water. The symptoms generally become noticeable by 1 year of age. It is also called the happy puppet syndrome. Canavan disease. It is an autosomal recessive degenerative disorder that causes progressive damage to nerve cells in the brain and is one of the most common degenerative cerebral diseases of infancy. It is caused by a deficiency of the enzyme aminoacylase 2 and is one of a group of genetic diseases referred to as leukodystrophies. It is characterized by the generation of myelin in the phospholipid layer insulating the axon of a neuron and is associated with a gene located on human chromosome 17. Color blindness. It is also known as color vision deficiency. It is the decreased ability to see color or differences in color. The most common cause of color blindness is an inherited fault in the development of one or more of the 3 sets of color-sensing cones in the eye. Males are more likely to be colorblind than females, as the genes responsible for the most common forms of color blindness are on the X chromosome. As females have 2 X chromosomes, a defect in one is typically compensated for by the other, while males only have 1 X chromosome. Down syndrome. It is also known as trisomy 21. It is a genetic disorder caused by the presence of all part of a 3rd copy of chromosome 21. It is typically associated with physical growth delays, characteristic facial features, and mild to moderate intellectual disability. The average IQ of a young adult with Down syndrome is 50. It is equivalent to the mental ability of an 8 or 9-year-old child, but this can vary widely. The parents of the affected individual are typically genetically normal. The extra chromosome occurs by chance. The possibility increases from less than 0.1% in 20-year-old mothers to 3% in those aged 45. Turner syndrome. It is a condition in which a female is partly or completely missing an X chromosome. Signs and symptoms vary among those affected. Often, a short and webbed neck, low set ears, low hairline at the back of the neck, and swollen hands and feet are seen at birth. Cystic fibrosis. It is a genetic disorder that affects mostly the lungs, but also the pancreas, liver, kidneys, and intestine. Cystic fibrosis is inherited in an autosomal recessive manner. It is caused by the presence of mutations in both copies of the gene for the cystic fibrosis transmembrane conductance regulator, or the CFTR. Those with a single working copy are carriers and otherwise mostly normal.